Michaeldevries.
And your rank again was what?
Sergeant. I'm Sergeant DeVries of the 217th Space Company. I'm out of Colorado Springs.
Okay. That's a guard unit, right?
Mm-hmm. National Guard unit.
Just give me an idea of what you normally do so I can have a background for it.
I am a part of an ARS team. It's a small team that can be deployed to generally CENTCOM area, and we generally provide space support to the command that we're attached to.
What's ARS stand for?
Army Space Support Team.
No, that's not us.
All right, so give me a little bit of idea about what they have you doing down here.
I am here to monitor and keep up to date the control points for all the operations within the fire area, wildfire area.
How do you do that?
I go to each individual operator's head, the sheriff, I can't remember their company, but the sheriffs, the wildlife companies, the National Guard, and I combine all of their data into one file, condense it down to a PDF that's a map that everyone can access on phones or whatever, and so that they can go out in the field knowing where each checkpoint is at any given day.
So that's checkpoints, but you also deal with houses?
I deal with houses at the moment. I have a request for the viewing of the houses affected by the wildfires. The wildfires have spread to such a distance that people can start going in and checking on the houses for the influx of people returning from the evacuation. Instead of people going out house to house, we're looking for the capability of flying over and viewing the houses as is without driving all the many miles to each house.
Did they have this capability before you came here?
They had the capability, they didn't have the knowledge of what each person could do. I have personally went around finding the capabilities that we've found so far. Each of the possibilities are not guaranteed, but we're looking into them and trying to decide which one's the best. As for them doing it themselves, if someone else was tasked to it, I could see that they would be able to do it themselves as well.
So would they normally just take it from a photo, or what methods would they use?
Photos would be the least desirable, only because they generally are low res and highly focused on a single item or too far out where it doesn't matter. We're looking for imagery that can show each individual house from a distance so that you can get an entire neighborhood in a shot and still be able to see each house.
How do you do that? Not with a camera?
It is a camera, just not one that we would normally carry around. It's not like we can go in with a camera that you can find out of Walmart or Target. It's generally a high focus camera, so that high resolution camera, so that you can zoom in on each house. Most, like the Civil Air Defense, they have the capability of the cameras. Some drones have that capability. A lot of the media tends to have that capability, but general use, it's not available.
And then so you take this, you make a PDF. Is that a map, or is that a data sheet, or what is that?
We can make it into a map, but as is, it would just be imagery shots that you could disperse to the people on the ground.
And then they could go and do what with that?
They can look at all the shots in their area and say whether this house is a viable returning for their residents to return to that house, or if the house is completely burned, say no one can return to this house. And sometimes it's a little iffy, so that they would see those houses, mark them, and then instead of going to every single house, they would go to that house specifically.
So this saves time.
It saves time.
How much time would it have taken normally if you hadn't been doing this? How does that work?
I've been informed it would take about 2 to 3 months to do it by hand, whereas if there's an image, if they have enough imagery, they could do it within probably 4 to 5 weeks. All right, I go and after collecting all the points, I bring them back to verify the locations of each point, and I make sure to get the name, the roads that they're on, and who updated them, who made them. And I keep these updated every day to a point where if it changes during the day, I'll try to get it, but it's not guaranteed. I take all of this data and I present it in a way, in a way that can be used by the rescue workers or the fire workers, and I make it into a product that can be saved into a PDF and dispersed throughout the network so that they can each find where the new or updated border or control points are throughout their specific area. I can make individualized ones relatively quickly and produce them within probably 20 minutes.
So they have the electronic form, it's a PDF that will be on their phone or tablet or whatever they've got, they have access to. Why don't you make printed products?
Yep, I can make printed products with his printer, and I can make it to the size of a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just a regular sheet of paper.
And that's what somebody would take around with them if they want to go and look at the home or something like that.
Yep. And I haven't done anything with the homes yet with this specific type of work, but it's feasible that I would be able to do that, especially with imagery collection.
How does this relate to what you do in the military for,
This specifically is my job. This is what I train for every time I go into drill.
For fire?
I tend to be more focused on CENTCOM area, but natural disasters are also something we're training on, such as flooding down in Florida, or this is the first wildfire I've trained on. I've done a dirty bomb in New York. It's all depending on what they decide to train us on, but it can be over a wide range of subjects.
So for CENTCOM, are you looking at, is it battle damage assessment?
I tend to do advisement, not assessment. It's possible to do advisement or assessment, but I take pictures of, I make maps of requests for other people. They come to us, say we need this area, we need roads, we need hydrology, and we need it at this size. I take that information, go into our database, and produce whatever I have or whatever they need.
Gotcha. That's for the intel folks, or?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. It's nice that military skill can really apply to civilian
It can.
work.
Civilians can easily use this for utilities, for wildfires, as we see. It can be used for housing developments, city planning, anything that you can think of that goes with a map. My job is related or required.
What does GIS stand for?
Geospatial Information System. It's a term specially focused on systems that are capable of taking large amounts of geospatially coordinated data and manipulating it.
Oh, okay. Is that the same thing on the civilian side, or is it called the
Yes.
GIS as well? Cool. What else haven't you told me?
Honestly, other than what could possibly be made with this, I can't think of anything else, and I don't know how wide your audience is.
Just kind of focused on the fire, how we're supporting the fire.
If I was here longer, I could work with water companies and stuff like that, as well as weather to predict where the rainfall will most affect people due to the vegetation being burned away. No vegetation, the water isn't absorbed as fast and slowed down, so floodplains are created. We could map out where the fire's going, how fast it might go with the weather. We can plan out how to do logistics. We can find roads and secondary, tertiary routes to a certain location. We can find the largest body of water for air support. The helicopters could go to pick up the water from a lake or a pond and drop it on the fire.
I haven't been in it. I've been by it, but I haven't gone to it.
Sounds like a fun job, actually.
Troop support. It's actually not bad.
Did you choose it yourself, or?
I chose it not knowing what it was, and 10 years later I'm still doing it.
Yeah. So you must have found it really interesting. It sounds like it's used for so many things to be always new and changing and something fun.
It can definitely be boring, but it does have its moments. Producing overviews for everyone in Iraq is not the same thing as this. It's the same print job over and over again with slight modifications. That gets old. But this is actually fun.
Probably more rewarding.
Yeah. You can see the results, whereas if you're just doing an overview, it's a pretty picture on the wall.
And are you full-time?
No, I'm part-time.
What are you doing your civilian job?
I'm a full-time student.
What are you going to school for?
Computer science. I'm looking to become a programmer for big data.
Cool. It's a little change of pace then.
Yeah. I went to school after leaving active and discovered I could teach the classes. And so I decided that instead of teaching the classes, I would learn something new.
Sounds good. Well, I think you got a good bit of information there, so I appreciate your time.
Not a problem.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I'll grab that mic and we're going to do a